NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell addressed members of the San Diego media on Wednesday, November 9 at the 2011 Celebration of Hope Gala, an event to raise money to find a cure for Huntington's disease. Goodell spoke on a wide range of issues, including the possibilities of a new downtown stadium in San Diego for the Chargers, the importance of HGH testing, and his overall commitment to player safety.
What would you characterize that meeting as?
Just to get an update from the mayor about what's happening on the stadium front. It's not unusual that I do that when I come to the city.
When's the last time you had dialogue with city officials here about the stadium?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. prior to that, when's been the last time?
It's been several months. I've been focusing on the labor issue, so everything is pre-labor.
How serious do you think the Chargers are about staying in San Diego? The team said that the downtown convention thing was probably the last chance for
Well, they've been trying for 10 years to find a solution to getting a stadium. I think everyone recognizes that a stadium is needed to keep the Chargers competitive. And they have worked tirelessly to find a solution. We're the community leaders, and we need to do that. That's part of the initiative, to try to find a solution that works for the community.
How does the CBA help teams who are trying to build the stadiums?
I think it helps a great deal on several fronts. One is you have 10 years of labor peace, you have that foundation. Second of all, in the context of the labor agreement, we have financing abilities with the players to try to help make these constructed. They're complex projects, they're expensive projects, and it takes a public-private partnership, and the players have recognized that and are contributing to that.
Have you seen any progress that you're aware of between the city and the Chargers that maybe we're not of in the last few months?
Well, let me have the meeting so I can give you an update after that.
Roger, speaking to CBA, are you still optimistic that you can get HGH testing this season?
I certainly, we're not leaving a focus of that. We're completely focused on that. We think it's the right thing to do. We agreed to it, and we think it's the right thing to do for player safety. I think it's important for the credibility of the game. It's as important as a message to kids who not only play our game, but play any game. That you shouldn't be taking performance-enhancing drugs, and HGH is certainly something that we need to be testing.
Are you discouraged or disappointed by the slowness of movement on the other side, the NFLPA?
I'm disappointed. Never discouraged. It's something we agreed to. Right. We had talked about it for well over a year. It wasn't something that came up at the last minute. It was important for us as the NFL, I think, to continue to be the leader in sports, and that includes in the performance-enhancing drug testing. And I think we're proud of our program, but clearly this aspect of the program, meaning HGH testing, needs to be implemented to make sure you have the best program.
How do you get that done with them dragging their feet? Do you need another body like Congress to step in there?
I'm certainly hopeful that we can do it without involvement with Congress. I think, again, we agreed to it, so I'm hopeful that we can all live up to our agreements and we get it done. I respect the fact that we want to have a valid test. We didn't initially wrap our arms around this test, as you know, when it was first created in 2004. But there's 7 years of history, a lot of science, a lot of medicine behind it, and we're comfortable that this is a valid test. And, we respect the fact that the Players Association wants to have confidence in that too. I think they have access to all the information and should be in a position to be able to be confident.
Hey, Roger, another local issue, Chris Dealman's concussion in the aftermath. How have officials reacted to being told to keep on the lookout for concussions?
That's something that is, we believe is responsibility of everybody who's on the field, whether you're a coach, medical personnel, other players, or officials. If you see somebody that you think needs medical attention, safety is a priority, and they should make sure the right medical attention is given, which means just alert the team and let the medical professionals make those decisions. We're not asking them to make any medical decisions.
Just to be alert, more alert.
Just to be alert, and if we think someone needs attention or needs to be evaluated, they should ask the team to do it.
Did it almost need an incident like this to maybe move this issue forward to
I think, I think we're all learning and improving, and I think you're always trying to adapt and try to get better at it. And I think I wouldn't like to say that we needed this incident. proper procedures are going to be followed, but we also recognize, this is something that's evolving, and we want to be ahead of the game.
Is the team in Los Angeles saying when more than an if?
Not necessarily. I mean, again, until there's an appropriate solution in Los Angeles, it won't be a team.
Do you favor one of the two sites?
No, I don't.
What is an appropriate solution?
The right kind of stadium, and we have to make it work for the NFL and obviously for the community and for the team.
What's the right kind of stadium?
Well, one, you have to get it built. Two, you have to have the financing. Three, it has to be able to generate the kind of revenue that's necessary to keep a team successful. And last but not least is make sure it works for the community.
We hear a lot about relocation fees. Is that a standard procedure you would expect if a team moved to Los Angeles that that team would have to pay a large relocation fee?
The relocation fees are part of our relocation policy, so it would be a consideration. Sure.
Along with this, the testing of performance-enhancing drugs, is there any consideration revising the policy that when somebody is test positive, that maybe it falls into classifications, maybe an A, a B, or a C? Because right now you could have, anyways from a steroid to an antihistamine that are classified as the same thing. And once a player is, it's a little long, but once a player is tested positive, they're not allowed to sit.
You have the policy already written.
But the player can't reveal what they're tested positive for, or else they get fined. So
that's not true. So, listen, the drug testing program over the years has evolved as science, medicine evolves, and it's a very lengthy document. I'm happy to share it with you because it's public knowledge. But it's something that always has to be revised. It always has to be updated to make sure that we're using the best technology. In HGH testing, there is new technology that's proven to be working. Something we think should be implemented in the NFL immediately.
I'm among those who applaud your efforts to make the game a little safer. But it seems like the responsibility is on the defensive player. We see quarterbacks drop passes into impossible tiny spots, and all of a sudden there's a big collision, and the defensive player gets a penalty flag. You've educated defensive players. Have you educated quarterbacks about their responsibilities?
Well, your focus is on defensive players. And if a player is in a position where they're exposed to injury, which is not new, always have protections for quarterbacks, kickers that are in an exposed position, and receivers. So we also have focus for our defensive players when they're in an exposed position, like a crackback block. So we always look at player safety. It's a priority for us, and we're going to try to make sure that there are rules in place to make sure that any techniques that can lead to injury are going to be addressed in this.
To you, what's the greatest issue with Qualcomm Stadium that makes long-term football there less than ideal?
Well, when you look at what's going on around the country, I think it's probably 26 or 27 of our stadiums either been newly built or renovated. And the quality of those stadiums, whether it starts with the sightlines, whether it starts with the amenities to our fans, the quality of the seats themselves, suites, revenue opportunities, even down to accessing the facility. All of those are important to us because one of our big challenges going forward is how do we continue to have people come to our stadiums? The experience at home is a great experience on television, and we want to encourage people to be in our stadium. There's nothing better. I watched the game on Sunday and seeing Charger fans. That's a great experience when you see that kind of enthusiasm.
Would you agree that the three stadiums in California are the least desirable?
The three stadiums in California certainly are not up to the standards of what we're seeing in the rest of the NFL or, frankly, in other sports.
Does that have something to say about California? Does that say something about California?
Just a fact.
Roger, if that stadium is built in LA, the right kind of stadium, like you said, and there continues to be a lack of traction on the stadium down here, should Charger fans be worried?
Listen, we have to find a solution here. Right now, the San Diego Chargers are here because the Spanos family wants to be here, and I believe they want to continue to be here. It's up to us to find a solution. We all have to work together to find that, and that's our commitment. I know the Spanos family commitment, and I'm confident the leaders here.
To learn more about Huntington's disease and the Celebration of Hope Gala, please visit sandiego.com for an article on the event written by Dan McClellan. Sandiego.com is the website where both visitors and locals go.